Okay, we have aspirant is appearing for a certain number of tests. His average score increases by one if the first 10 tests are not considered. So there's a grouping happening. So what we have is something like this. Let's say the average of all the tests is A. So let me write it here. Average of all tests is A. And also, we don't know the number of tests, right? Total number of tests, that is certain number of tests it says. So let's say number of tests we took is n. So we're going to use these two variables, but not for calculation, just for representation purpose. And then we'll try to evaluate. If not possible, then we'll get into the variable solving. So first, let's represent this. So we have average of all the tests as A. So we're mixing two groups here, right? One group is the first 10 tests, and the other group should have n minus 10 tests, right? Because the total tests are n in number. So this is the two groupings that we have, right? These two groups mixed will give us that overall average that should happen. And we know that once we are ignoring this 10 tests, so the average of these n minus 10 tests will be a plus 1 because average score increases by 1. That is the given data, right? So this is what we have. And later on, it tells us, if you read this part, if his average scores, if his average, so 1 second, average scores for the first 10 is 20. So that is respectively. So first 10 is 20. So this is the first 10, right? So first 10 will have an average of 20. So this is one allegation chart. So this is one allegation chart that we have. We have another allegation chart, and that is when we are ignoring the last 10 tests. So this same average is decreasing by 1 if the last 10 tests are not considered. So if you don't consider the last 10 tests, so again, we are dividing into two groups, but this time around, the first group is n minus 10. So I'm trying to keep that first and last idea also as far as possible visually so that it's easy to relate. And the last 10 tests I'm writing here on the right side. So these are the two groups. When mixed, we should get the same average because that is anyhow the average of this person, all tests combined. But in this case, this n minus 10 will have an average of a minus 1, right? Because that is what the question tells us, that the average reduces by 1 once we don't consider the last 10 tests. And the last 10 tests, that is also given here. The last 10 tests have 30 as the average, right? This is respectively. So this last 10 tests should correspond to an average of 30. So this is what we have. So these are the two allegations chart here. So in allegation, I hope everybody is aware of this. So we have cross differences, right? Let me do this. Let me write these numbers. Let me keep this as a ratio. And let me write these numbers just a level below. Okay, I'll write with pen only. So let's say 10 is to n minus 10. That is what we have. And then the ratio comes out to be a certain value here. So I just put in the differences here. One thing that we know here is this difference is 1, right? So this is 1 is to a certain number. We don't know as of now. Also, on this side, let's do the same thing. So let me just take this off. And here we have n minus 10, and here we have 10, right? So this is the ratio coming out to be a certain value. We don't know, but this is known to us. This is 1. So I hope you understand. A plus 1, A has a difference of 1. A minus 1, A has a difference of 1. In allegation, just the absolute difference matters, right? Now, the first thing that you should be able to observe here is that there's a parity, right? I mean, there's a symmetry here. We have 10 is to n minus 10 on this side, and we have n minus 10 is to 10 on this side, right? And both the cases, the 10 is corresponding to 1. Now, n is a constant value, isn't it? So the n minus 10 should be a certain constant. So there should be a certain k, right? Whatever is the k here should be the k here. Or instead of k, let me write that as d, because in allegation, we take the differences usually, right? So let us say this is a certain difference d, and this is also a certain difference d. So what is this d, by the way? So 20 and a has this difference of d, and 30 and a also has this difference of d, right? So it is pretty obvious that a should be lying between 20 and 30. If that is not directly obvious, then look at the alligation chart of either one of them. In the first case, a plus 1 is more than a, so obviously a should be greater than 20. On the second one, a minus 1 is less than a, so a should be less than 30, right? So what we have, excuse me, so we have this 20, a certain point on this number line. We have this 30, a certain point on this number line, and we have this a. Now this difference and this difference are equal. So the net difference is 10. So this should be 5 and 5, right? So a should be 25. So we can figure this out very quickly. So once we know that this a is 25, uh, once we know that this a is 25, we can plug in this 25. We can plug in this 25. Either one will be fine. I'm just showing it on both the sides. And this d comes out to be 5 in that case, right? So that will give us the answer, because now you will find that 10 is to n minus 10 is in this ratio, 1 is to 5. So if 1 corresponds to 10, then this should correspond to 50, right? And if this is 50, then n is equal to 60. So that is the requirement. Find the total number of tests taken by him. That is the question. And that is 60. So this is an easy way to figure it out. So it's a smart way to apply alligation. I mean, even in previous CAT paper solutions, I've shown many questions in which you can smartly apply alligations. It's a very strong method. It comes from the deviation idea in averages. The basics is deviation, but then once you understand what alligation is, you understand how to apply it, becomes very, very easy. I would say roughly, I mean, even if you do it in this way, it would take somewhere around 1 to 1.5 minutes to solve. Ideal time, I would put it as this. For this particular question, if you're not getting this idea, if you're not very comfortable with alligation, so solving with variable will actually take a bit of time. It might take you 2 minutes or even more. I don't know. So if you're getting that alligation chart idea, then do solve it in the first round. Or if you feel that I'll leave it as of now, I've understood the idea. I'm not very confident how much time will it take to actually solve. So that might be a smart decision, and you can actually solve this in round 2. So this question, I would say okay to solve in round 2, because first round you can just mark this question. If you understood the picture, or you visualize the idea, whatever is happening. So mark it for review and move along. Don't solve it during the first scan. So solve the easy ones, which you can solve very, very quickly. Next round, when you come back, it would take a bit of less time to actually solve, because already you have that confidence. You have built up on a lot of questions in the first round of scanning. So round 2 is fine for this question. And that's it for the solution and analysis. Hope you understood it. Thank you.